man, there's this guy who's supposed to be intelligent, waiting to be trussed up, and what do you think they tie him up with? The curtain cord?
Then, why not? Very convenient.
A little too convenient, wouldn't you say? Now when are playwrights gonna start using some imagination?
See him get it?
See him get it, he had his back to him the whole time. He could have turned around at any moment and seen the murderer. Man, they say critics are killing the theater. I say playwrights are killing the theater. Every night with the same bad lines and cheap sets and bad acting. When are people gonna start learning the theater today? Anyway, there's this guy, right, who's supposed to be bright intelligent, waiting to be trussed up and get out of the...
You're right about that, fella. He wasn't very bright.
But this fella's supposed to be bright. But there he sat, just waiting to be tied and trussed to his own chair. Now this is where it gets good. So, what do you think they used to tie him up with?
What?
The curtain cord from his own window.
Good idea. Very convenient.
Oh, Doctor. The curtain cord from his own window? When are these playwrights going to get some imagination? It's a little too convenient if you ask me.
And he didn't see him get it?
See him? All he had to do was just turn around, but he kept his back to him the entire time. Now, this is the kind of thing I have to sit through night after night. People say that the critics are killing the theater. Let me tell you, it's these playwrights that are killing the theater. So anyways, there he sits, the big dummy. Just waiting to be tied and trussed up to his own... Whoa, what are you doing?
You're right about that, fella. He wasn't so smart, was he?
Now this guy who's supposed to be bright and intelligent, mind you, he's sitting there just waiting to be trussed up and gagged by whoever. And what do you think they used to tie him up with?
What?
The curtain cord. By now, it's very convenient. A little too convenient, Doctor. When are some of these playwrights going to start use some imagination? I tell you, the curtain cord.
Well, he didn't see him get it.
See him? No, Doctor, he just sat there. Mind you, this fellow's supposed to be bright and intelligent. He just sits there waiting to be trussed up.
All right. Now, Mortimer, if you don't mind, we'll finish the story.
This guy's supposed to be bright, right? So, there he sits, just waiting to be trussed up, and, what do you think they used to tie him up with?
What?
The curtain cord.
Oh, well, why not? It's a good idea, very convenient.
It's a little too convenient. When are playwrights going to use some imagination? The curtain cord?
You didn't see him get it?
See him? He sat there with his back to him. That's the kind of stuff we have to sit through night after night. They say the critics are killing it. It's the playwrights that are killing the theater. So anyway, there this guy sits, right? This guy that's supposed to be smart. Just sitting there waiting to be trussed up and gagged. No.
Well, you're right about one thing. He wasn't very smart, was he?
Now, Mortimer, we'll finish the story.
Now, mind you, the fellow's supposed to be bright. But there he sits, just waiting to be trussed up. And what do you think they used to tie him with? But the curtain cord.
Oh, but why not? Good idea.
Very convenient.
A little too convenient. When are playwrights going to use some imagination? The curtain cord.
And he didn't see him get it?
See him? He sat there with his back to him. And that is the kindness we have to suffer through night after night. And they say that critics are killing the theater. It's the playwrights who are killing the theater. So there he sits. The big dog. The fellow who's supposed to be bright. Just waiting to be trussed up and gagged.
Stop. Oh, Johnny, let's all get crowd. Alright, this thing's down. Johnny, why does this always keep crowd? Okay, thank you. You're right about that fellow. He wasn't very bright.
Mind you, he's supposed to be bright, but there he sits, just waiting to be trussed up. And what do you think they used to tie him with?
But
The curtain cord.
why not? It's a good idea, very convenient.
A little too convenient. When are playwrights going to use some imagination? The curtain cord.
And you didn't see him get it.
See him. He just sat there with his back to him. That's the kind of stuff we have to suffer through night after night. And they say the critics are killing the theater. It's the playwrights who are killing the theater. So there he sits, the big dope, this fella who's supposed to be bright, just waiting to be trussed up and gagged.
Yeah, you were right about that fellow. He wasn't very bright.
Now I remind you, Doctor, that this man is supposed to be intelligent, and he just sits there, waiting to be tossed up. What do you think they used to tie him up with?
What?
The curtain cord.
Well, why not? Good idea.
A little too convenient, if you ask me. When a playwright should start using some imagination? The curtain cord.
Well, he didn't seem to get it.
See him? He just sat there, with his back to him. This is what we have to sit through, night after night. And they say that it's critics killing the theater. It's playwrights that are killing the theater. Anyway, there he sits, just waiting to be tossed up and gagged.
You're right about that, fella. He wasn't too bright.
This fellow's supposed to be bright. So there it sits, just waiting to be trussed up. And what do you think they used to tie him with? The curtain cord.
Curtain cord. Better by night. A good idea. Very convenient.
A little too convenient, if you ask me. When are some playwrights going to start using some imagination? The curtain cord.
You didn't see him get it?
See you get it? He sat there with his back to him the whole time. Now, this is the kind of stuff we have to suffer through night after night. This ain't the critics who are killing the theater. It's the playwrights who are killing the theater. So there he sits, the big joke, just waiting to be trussed up and gagged. And what's going on?
You're right about that fella. He wasn't very bright.
People mind, we'll finish the story.
Well, there he sits. This fellow is supposed to be great. Just waiting to trust him. And what do you think they used to tie him up with? The curtain cord. A good choice. Very good choice. Very convenient one. A little too convenient. What are playwrights going to use some imagination? The curtain cord. And he didn't even see him get it. See it? He sat there with his back to it. I tell you, this is the kind of stuff we have to put up with night after night. And they say critics are killing the theater. It's the playwrights who are killing the theater. So there he sits. This fellow who's supposed to be right. This big dope. Just waiting to be trussed up and gagged. What? No, John! Jonathan! No! Jonathan! Is this a piece of Jonathan? You were right about one thing. That fella, he was not very bright.
Now, Mortimer, if you don't mind, we'll finish the story.
Mind you, this fellow's supposed to be bright. So there he sits, just waiting to be trussed up. And what do you suppose they used to tie him with? But the curtain cord.
Well, why not? Very convenient.
A little too convenient if you ask me. When are playwrights going to start using some imagination? The curtain cord?
He didn't see him get it?
See him? He sat there with his back to him. That's the kind of stuff we have to suffer through night after night. They say the critics are killing the theater. It's the playwrights that are killing the theater. So there he sits, the big dope, this fellow who's supposed to be bright, just waiting to be trussed up and gagged. No, what are you doing? Jonathan, come on, bro. Shh.
And now, Mortimer, If you don't mind, we will finish the story.
Now, mind you, this fellow's supposed to be bright. There he sits, just waiting to be trussed up. And what do you think they used to tie him with? What? The curtain tie.
Well, why not? A good idea. Very convenient.
A little too convenient. When are playwrights going to use some imagination? The curtain tie.
You didn't see him get it?
No! He sat there with his back to him. And that's the kind of stuff we have to suffer through night after night. And they say the critics are killing the theater. It is the playwrights who are killing the theater. So there he sits. The big dope, just waiting to be trussed up and gagged. Wait, Jonathan, what are you doing? What are you doing?
You're right about that fella. He was a very bright.
Now, Mortimer,
If you don't mind,
we'll finish the story.
they use the title.
I don't know.
The curtain cord.
Why not? A good idea. And convenient.
Yes, a little too convenient. The curtain cord. That's kind of stuff I have to sit through night after night. And they say critics are killing the theater. It's the playwrights who are killing the theater. Anyway, so there he sits. Big dope. Just waiting to be all tied. Jonathan, you want me with this? Jonathan.
You're right.
You're right. Just waiting to be dropped up and gagged. No. You're right.
House with murderers, so he ought to know he's in danger. He's even been warned to get out of the house. And does he go?
Yes.
No, he doesn't. He stays. This fella doesn't even have sense enough to be scared or to be on his guard. No. A fella never sees or hears anything. No, that's right.
But what does he do?
What does he do? Well, the big chump sits there. This fellow is supposed to be bright. He sits there. Now get a load of this. Look at the attitude. Large as life. He sits there waiting to be tied up and gagged. A big dog.
My answer, sweet, charming old ladies, don't you?
Well, there's 13 bodies buried in the cellar.
Never, my dear brother, were you out of my mind. The more you struggle, Mortimer, the more you strangle yourself. We drink to you, Doctor, to my dear dead brother.